Infinite light beings, greetings, welcome in and welcome back. Um, Spirit is saying that the infinite energy is saying that they can hear you questioning, like, if you were the problem, then why is the person or people that you were dealing with hiding out? Why are they not coming to the surface? Why are they not calling you? Why are they not trying to get at you on the social medias, or come visit you to see what the issue is? Like, there's been no communication. It's just been stopped abruptly, just suddenly, with that tower energy. And they're not coming to the surface. They're not trying to see what the issue is, because Spirit is saying they already know that they are the issue. Spirit is saying that they are hiding away in their dark caves of shame, is what's going on in this present moment, in this season. These people are hiding away because they are cowards, and they can't come to the surface because they know what they have done, um, um, wrongdoing you. Um, it was not called for. You did not ask for it. You did not deserve it. It was not a requirement of theirs to give to you, to hurt you, to abuse you, to mistreat you, to neglect you, and whatever they did to you. They didn't have permission to do it. It was not. They were not granted access by the infinite energy or by the dark side to hurt you, to abuse you. Right. So this is why Spirit is saying that these people are hiding out in um, a deep sense of regret, because they understand now deeply, because you walked away so peacefully. You walked away with your grace. Spirit allowed you to walk away with your grace, even though they did whatever they did to upset you, hurt you, slander you, abuse you, whatever they did. Spirit allowed you to still walk away with grace, with your peace, right? In peace, right? No confusion. You evolved. You've leveled up. You've come to the point in the season in your life where you're tired of being combative, going back and forth. You're not going back and forth in this season. You're just going to lay it on the line. If it needs to be laid on the line, the issue, the problem at hand, and bam, you wash your hands of it. You're done with it. You're not going to keep on going back and forth. It's not going to be a back and forth combative type issue where you're going to allow people to constantly drain you, because they know this is what's going on. Like, if somebody's neglecting you and you want that time and that attention, they know that you're going to ask for that time and that attention. So they're draining that energy from you, with them feeling like you're begging for the time and the attention, with them neglecting you, right? With them leaving you feeling abandoned, right? Because they want to kick it with their family, kick it with their friends, or kick it with they girl best buddies, or men best buddies, when they are women and they are men, the opposite sex as best buddies. That Spirit is saying that is never a good match. That is never just a platonic relationship. Spirit is saying there is always some type of funny business to go down with that best friend of opposite sex, right? So just keep that in mind. That is a side piece message, spiritual message, right? I release all negative energy, and I send it back to the sender tenfold. No weapon formed against us shall prosper, right? Though we walk through the valley of the shadow of the death, right? We shall fear no evil, for the rod and the shaft, they comfort us. They prepare a table before us in the presence of our enemies, and they anoint our head with oil. Our cup floweth over, and surely goodness and love shall follow us all the days as we dwell in the house of um, the infinite energy of all there is. Ashe, Ashe, we are protected, divinely guided, securely protected, infinitely provided for, and highly loved by Spirit. No weapon formed against us shall prosper here on earth as long as there are heavens. Ashe, Ashe, thank you, Spirit. We thank you for divine protection. We thank you for divine knowledge. We thank you for divine clarity. And yeah, we just thank you for divine love. Ashe. We have a heart full of gratitude. Ashe. We come to you with a heart full of gratitude, and we thank you for these divine messages in the present moment, because they don't have to be granted to us. Ashe. So yeah, Spirit is saying, this is why you haven't got that phone call. This is why they haven't pulled up to the crib. This is why they haven't showed up to, the events that you've been throwing, right? Or this is why you didn't see them at the Christmas party. You didn't get a Happy New Year's, right? You didn't get a Merry Christmas, right? Because these people are in their coven of shame, right? They're afraid to resurface because they don't know what kind of energy you in, because they cannot feel your energy. They cannot, the way they used to feel your energy so powerful, because you were willing to allow them to feel your energy. Now you have cut off all access. You're not giving up no energy to somebody that don't deserve your fucking energy. So all access has been cut off, right? So they cannot feel your energy. So they don't know how the fuck you feeling. They don't know what state you're in. When they left you, they understood that you were in a peaceful state, and you let them walk away without no issue, right? Without no issue. But they might have reached out, or they might have made a date and you didn't show up, right? They might have tried to come pick up the kids, and you said not this weekend, right? Because we got something to do, right? Something to the effect where the last time they reached out, right, there was not a accurate response that they are used to getting, right? So they knew that, I better hold my horses. I better back up. I better not show my face. I bet not call. I bet not. But now they have let it stretch out too far, right? They've been a coward for too long, right? The cowardly dog for too long, right? The cowardly cat for too long, right? Because these messages are for feminine energy and masculine energy. Take the messages as they resonate, right? But these are the walking dead energy, right? Being cowards in their walking dead energy, walking sleep, trying to play sleep. They want to play sleep. Spirit is saying they have the choice to be woke or to be sleep, and they want to play sleep, right? So now that they have played sleep, and they have forced themselves into this coven of dark shame, and don't want to resurface because they are cowards, because they know what the fuck they did to you. They know how they mistreated you when they had a chance to be in your life, right? Spirit is saying now, this is the question that you've been asking, like, why are they not resurfacing? Well, this is why. Because they're cowards, because they're ashamed, because they know that, even though they want to put the blame on you, they want to say you're the issue. They want to say you're always the cause of the problem. You're the crazy one. You're the psycho. You're the one that neglects. You're the one that projects and deflects. You're the one in the low vibrational energy, because what they're doing is reflecting. They're looking in the mirror. You're the mirror. You're the mirror that's sent to them to allow them, because it's not a force. You allow them to look within the mirror of you, so they can see the reflection of them, of all the dirt and disgust that they've been hiding, right? And so, where are we going, Spirit? Where are we going with this, Spirit? And so, um, they seen this. It came to the surface as they looked in the mirror of you, right? And so, um, they know what they did, is what Spirit is saying in the moment, and what you are getting confirmation in the moment. You know what they did. They know what they did. They tried to blame it on you. They tried to put it on you. They always put the blame on you, no matter what the situation is or how it played out, right? It was always you to be the blame, right? And so you took enough nonsense. You took enough low vibrational energy. You took enough of them not wanting to change, not wanting to do better, not wanting to grow, not wanting to get out of the cheating ass energy, not wanting to get out of the scamming ass energy, always wanting to scam people, always wanting to get over. Always got to hustle, right? Always a scheme and a scam, right? A vibrant con artist, right? And you watch them, you always try to tell them, maybe you should take this avenue instead of going down this avenue, so you can get this outcome instead of that outcome, right? But no, they didn't want to listen to you. They didn't want to respect your knowledge, your wisdom, and your power. They didn't want that, right? So this is another reason why they're hiding in the shame of the dark covenant cave of shame, because they knew they should have listened to your knowledge. They knew they should have listened to your wisdom. They knew you had power, right? It says ancient wisdom, power you have, or Spirit wants you to have it, right? But they seen it in you, right? We all on different levels. So, if you don't know that you have the ancient wisdom power, Spirit wants you to know that you have it in this moment, right? If you've been feeling like, oh, I feel different, I'm not normal like everybody else. Why do I always stand out? Why do motherfuckers always pick on me? Why do I always got to be the oddball? Why do all motherfuckers always want to be jealous of me? Why does motherfuckers always want to compete with me? Why does motherfuckers always want to copy me? Why? It always got to be motherfucking me, right? Right? Why am I always the one that has the helping hand? Why am I always the one that has the uplifting word? Why am I always why is it always fucking me? Because you have the power and because you have the wisdom, and these people see it, right? They see that you are backed by Spirit, the infinite energy, right? Thank you, Spirit. I am grateful to receive the messages for the Divine Collective, feminine energy, masculine energy. Show us what we need to see. Tell us what we need to hear. Thank you, Divine Spirits. Right. So, corrupt legal employees, cops, lawyers, and judges, right? So these people, these are corrupt people, but these people are trying to come up out of their corruption. So you could be dealing with a lawyer that is corrupt, going about shit illegally, right? Getting this paperwork or illegal evidence, right? Corrupt lawyers, legal, right? Employees, right? These blue collar employees, right? Corrupt cops, lawyers, judges, right? Judges making decisions on your cases, knowing that they could be more lenient, or they've been too strict, or corrupt, right? Putting shit on your case, and they know you ain't got nothing to do with it, right? Or putting shit on your family's case, they know they ain't got nothing to do with it, right? Corrupt ass people, right? These people hiding in caves, right? Because they know they put your people away, and oh, my ear just okay. They know they put your people away wrongly. They were wrongly judged, right? And now these people have been sit in caves, right? And to be contempt, to be haunted, to be judged, right? And now they want to come up out of their fucking corrupt. Some of these people that you deal with could have been corrupt employees, stealing from work, doing mischievous shit at work, right? Doing illegal shit at work, right? And you saw them, right? You saw them. You saw them. But they want to blame it on you? Is spirit saying they want to blame it on you, knowing that you were not the blame, knowing they were the blame, they was doing the corrupt shit at work, but they want to blame it on you? Didn't we get some about sabotage at work the other day? Yesterday we got a message about being sabotaged at work, right? Here it is right here. Now they in a cave of shame, right? Of guilt, right? Of regret, right? Now they want to come up out of this shit, right? Counterfeiters, twins. Okay, so the people that you was dealing with, the lovers, the husbands, the wives, the baby mamas, the baby daddies, the sneaky links, the side pieces, the situationships, they were counterfeit twin flames, right? Don't believe in love. They didn't believe in love. They was always giving you that red flag. You always knew that they were giving you the red flag, right? But since you are who you are, you was trying to let these people look into the mirror of you so they can fix the red flags, turn the red flags into green flags, right? You were trying to teach them how to love, right? You knew that they didn't know how to love, right? Because you're a divine infinite light being. Remember, you knew you were on a mission. Some of us know we're on an assignment, and some of us do not know that we're on assignment, right? But this is why you're here now, because you're learning that have been on assignment, right? Right? We're on different levels. We're on different timelines. We all go through the same shit at different fucking times in our lives, right? So these people were counterfeit. They knew that they were coming into your life to be a counterfeit. This is another reason why they're in the motherfucking cave of shame and guilt, because they had a real love. Real love. They were searching for a real love. I'm searching for a real love. Yeah, and they found that in you. And then they fucked around and fucked you off, right? They fucked you off. Fucked you off literally, right? Because they couldn't handle the real love that you was giving them. This unconditional love. What? This man ain't asking me for shit. I ain't gotta open my legs for nothing. What? He want to buy me this? He want to take care of my kids? What? This motherfucker let me drive his car, and I ain't gotta give up nothing. He really loving me like this? What? He really showing? He really putting in action? And what? And I don't want this shit. I'm refusing this shit. Oh, this woman, this goddess right here. What? I ain't gotta do shit. She ain't asking me to pay her rent. She ain't asking me to buy the kids no Pampers. She ain't asking me to run her to the store and do this and do that and give her laundry money. She ain't asking me for nothing. She ain't even asking me for my dick every time I see her. Like, what? And I fuck that off? How dumb can you be, dumbass? They knew you were magical. They knew you were full of the spirit, right? They witnessed it. They seen it. They experienced it. They didn't doubt it. They didn't doubt it. They try to hide it from other people, is what Spirit is saying. This is another reason why they in a fucking cave, right? Because they can't come out their cave because they tarnished your name, right? They tried to tarnish your name, even though your name could never be tarnished because you are that light being, right? You are a divine treasure unto the energy of infinite spirit. Listen to the bells in the background, the beeps in the background, right? You are that divine infinite light being, right? So your name cannot be tarnished, right? You're full of that magical, you're a magical being. They're receiving judgment, right? Because of them trying to tarnish a light being, a supernatural, super warrior in the eyes of spirit, in the image of spirit, right? And so your name could not be tarnished, but they did. They threw dirt on it. They threw mud on it. They threw shit on it, right? They funked your name up so fucking bad. Like, what's that song? Funk you up. I want to funk you. No, that's Steve Harvey. What? That wasn't even a real fucking song. That was on Steve Harvey. So somebody's name could be Steve, somebody's name could be Harvey, somebody's name could be Regina, somebody's name could be Seti. What else was that? I can't think of the crazy girl name. Lavita. Somebody's name could be Lavita, right? Um, Somebody could be a teacher. Somebody could be a musician, right? Somebody could just like the fucking show, right? Somebody could like Romeo. Oh, Romeo. Yeah, somebody could like Romeo, right? But anyways, they sung that song Funk You Up. I want to funk you up, and that wasn't a real song. So ooh, shit. Excuse me, y'all. Ooh, my baby's got me sick. My little baby's got me sick in the front, and I'm working through it. I'm working through it. And that's another thing. They seen the way people love on you, just love on you, babies, children, animals, everything, everybody, plants, the energy. Your energy is so vibrant, right? So magical, right? So magnetic, right? Right? Um, was not expected to fall in love. They wasn't expecting it, right? They wasn't expecting it. Even if this was platonic relationships, even if this was family relationships, right? They wasn't expecting you to pour in the love that you poured into them, like no other family member would pour into them, like no other friend would pour into them, right? Like you was always there for them, whatever they needed, whenever they called you, whenever they wanted you to babysit the kids, whenever they needed a ride, whenever they wanted their hair done, whatever it was, right? Whenever they needed a haircut, right? Whenever they needed an outfit to borrow, right? Whenever they needed some change, right? You were there for them, and they still tarnished your name. They still tarnished your name. That's why they haven't came to the surface as of yet, because they don't know how to fucking come. They don't know how to approach you. They don't know how to talk to you. They don't know how to conversate with you. They don't know how. They just don't know how. They don't know how. They don't know how. They like a little. They like they like starting all over again in preschool. In preschool, not knowing how to do shit. Remember, kids in preschool don't know how to do shit. They got to be taught and learned all over again. These motherfuckers got to be taught and learned how to communicate, taught and learned how to love, taught and learned how to respect, taught and loved how to cherish someone genuine, taught and learned how to accept authentic behavior, taught and learned how to not be a narcissistic energy, taught and learned how to let go of fucking pain and hurt and trauma, issues. They got to be taught and learned all over again, taught and learned that there is a divine infinite energy, a spirit that governs over all energy. Like, stop fucking playing. Like, these people are in denial of all this, taught how to not be in such a lack mindset, a sabotaging mindset, a low vibrational mindset that you were trying to teach them how to fucking get up out of, because you already worked your way up out of that shit. You already learned how to overcome that shit. You already conquered that shit. You already became resilient. So you just wanted them to be an equal as you are, right? And they didn't want that shit. They didn't want that shit. Too sexy. You thought that too sexy. You all that. So these people, they were in lust energy, right? They didn't want to recognize the wisdom. All they seen was the outer exterior. All they got was the get off, right? They get off. And this is another reason, because they only came around to get off. They didn't want to, even though you were trying to pour the knowledge and the power and the wisdom into you, all they seen was the sex. All they wanted was the sex. All they cared about was feeding off your sexual energy. They didn't know that they could have all of it. They would gain from all of it. They would prosper from all of it. They didn't want all of it. They didn't want to sit down and be fucking wise. They didn't want to sit down and grow up. They didn't want to sit down and take fucking lesson, right? They didn't want to sit down and be fucking taught, right? All they wanted to do was take, 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 take. Ugh. And that's why they in their motherfucking cave, because they can't take no more. They can't take no more. They can't even fucking face you. They know what they did was wrong. They know that they carrying the damn demons. They know that they're being controlled by the lower vibrational energies. They know that's why they are walking dead. They know that's why they play like they asleep, right? That so somebody, whoever, you know, somebody baby ain't yours, right? Somebody got a baby that is claiming to be yours, and the baby is not yours. That baby ain't yours. So these con artists, these corrupt people, you know, these lawyers, these judges, they out there making they out there uh they out there getting your people knocked up, and your people saying it's your baby and it's really they baby. Or yeah, or these people out there going out there getting other people pregnant. I don't know. Whatever. But somebody baby ain't yours. Somebody ain't the real daddy, right? Somebody ain't the real daddy. Or yeah, somebody ain't the real daddy. Yeah. What else, Spirit? Uh, yeah. 555, so it was meant for change. So you gonna be an interpreter, a business owner, a boss. So there is an interpreter, a business owner, a boss, somebody with some high status is looking at you, right? So you could be, you know, well known in the neighborhood, in the community, um, where somebody is looking at you. You could be a social media influencer where somebody is looking at you. You could deal with um, bilingual people. This could be your boss looking at you, right? You could deal with interpretations with dealing with bilingual people, you know, and somebody higher up is looking at you. You could go into somebody's business establishment who is the owner, and they got their eye on you and you don't even know. You got a secret admirer, right? Somebody that's got high status, somebody that's got some money, somebody that owns some shit, right? Is looking at you, right? And they see other people counterfeiting you as well, because this landed, they see you've been hurt as well, because this landed on top of counterfeit, flame, right? So they see that you've been hurt several times. Whoever's been paying attention to you see that you have not been in a kind of relationship that you deserve to be in. So I don't know how long this person has been. I'm hearing 2 years. Somebody's been watching you for 2 years, right? Somebody's been watching you for 5 months, right? But and then we have 555 here, right? So yeah, wherever you could be going into, you could be taking your car to get washed, and the business owner of the car wash is checking you out, like really want to take you out on a date, but haven't got the nerve to say how you doing, what's up, and ha- just looking at you, observing you, admiring you. Whoever these people are in a high status, these people are admiring you, right? They see you. They see that you can compliment them, is what I heard. They see that you could compliment them. They want you to compliment them. That song, "You Make Me Better." Um, I'm a force. You're a force when something. Neo, girl, you make me better. we're forced when we're together. Well, something like that. I can't get it, but yeah. And here, force, right? So yeah, you make me better. So they want you to make them better. They see that you have the qualities. You have you marked off every check in their box, right? You qualify in every section that they have a list. They have a list, and you meet every qualification on their list, right? You are the top notch um applicant, right? There's no other application that they want besides yours. This is how they see you. Thank you, Spirit. And this person got money, so not saying that that's all that matters, but you've always been a divine infinite light being, whether you're a feminine energy or a masculine energy that has always given. You have not received that Six of Pentacles as you should. And so now this person sees you and would like to give you your flowers, right? Going through a new ascending all over again, and they see the glow on you. They see the illumination on you. They see the elevation on you. They see you rising, right? They see this shit. They see it. They see it. Ouch. You could be dealing with an Aquarius, an air sign, Gemini, that's the lovers. What else? Is it Libra? Um, Thank you, Spirit. Ooh, we got fire sign, cardinal, Mars, fire, broke and demonic false prophets. Oof. So these people broke, demonic. Some of them are false prophets, walking around like they holier than thou, and mad because you really got the fucking wisdom. Mad because you really got the wisdom. You got the beauty, you got the sex appeal, you got the wisdom. While they broke and they demonic, and they false prophets. They lying. They don't even. Didn't Spirit say they don't believe in the Spirit? Didn't Spirit say you make them a fucking believer, right? Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, broken, demonic, being haunted, right? In that cave, being haunted, right? Living in the group in regret, right? In contempt, in a coven of, and some of them are in contempt with the people that they, slandered your name, talked about you about, right? They family members, they friends, right? They best buddies, right? Um, they in contempt. It's sitting in this cave with they ass, right? Stuck looking at they ugly asses, they low vibrational asses, right? Remember, UGLY, you ain't got no alibi, you ugly. Hey, you ugly. They going back and forth with it. Oh man. They going back and forth with each other. It's time for me to take my medicine. It could be time for somebody to take their medicine. Oh, oh goodness. A Gemini. Did Spirit say Gemini? The lovers, right? So we know that somebody out there had two choices and didn't want to fucking make it, right? And this is landing right on, that's not your baby. So somebody could be thinking that they had got somebody pregnant, right? And was leaving you alone, right? Because they told you, oh, I got this motherfucker pregnant, and yeah, knowing that they shouldn't have been stepping out from you, right? They went and got another person pregnant, and the baby not even really theirs. The motherfucker was lying, trying to trap them, right? While they playing on you, right? The motherfucker lying, trying to trap them, right? Ain't that some shit? So they lost a good one to a motherfucker that the child wasn't even fucking theirs, right? They had a whole fucking loving ass relationship with you, and went out and fucked around on you and thought they got somebody else pregnant, and oh, this my baby, and come to find out you done had a whole motherfucking DNA test and the motherfucking baby ain't even fucking yours. What the fuck type shit is that? You done lost a whole real one, right? We not friends. I gaslight you. So these motherfuckers wasn't even your friends, right? They wasn't, the counterfeit people wasn't even your friends. And some of these motherfuckers, oh, not motherfuckers, divine, divine infinite light beings, right? Feminine energy, masculine energy, the ones that's looking at you, right? Some of these motherfuckers was watching these people not be your friends, right? Yeah. Or not be your lovers. Yeah, but didn't Spirit say that already, right? But yeah, they wasn't your lover. They really didn't love you, and they wasn't your friend, right? Because if they loved you, they would have knew how to be your friend. Is what Spirit is saying. If they loved you, they would have really knew how to be your friend. They would have knew how to love you, right? Right? They would have been your friend before they was your lover, right? So they was never even your fucking friend. They was always gaslighting you, right, to make you but you already knew that, right? Because like Spirit said, you knew you was on assignment. Some of y'all didn't, but most of y'all did. Most of y'all already know that y'all get the information, the downloads from Spirit. It's only a chosen few that know that this is what you come for. This is your assignment over and over again, right? Because you're trying to make these people look into a reflection of themselves and change. They have the choice. Either they're going to do it or they're not going to do it, right? So you go into your assignment. You do what you got to do, right? Right? And you knew that these people really wasn't your friends because you know what a friend is because you know you, right? You know that a true friend would do the same shit or act the same way or bring the same actions as you bring, right? So it was no doubt. It was no doubt. You was just in there for as long as Spirit wanted you to be in there, right? Pisces, water sign too. So you dealing with fire signs. We got fire signs. We got air signs. We got water signs. Okay. The only thing we don't have is a fucking earth sign. But yeah, Pisces, mutable signs, cardinal signs. Yeah. So we got Neptune. We got Mars, and we got Mercury. So you could be ruled by those planets. Or you could know these people ruled by those planets. Yeah. Shit. We got Scorpio, divine infinite light beings. A faith a faithful you are spirit. What was I thinking when I half asleep? Uh, faithful you are spirit said. You are faithful, Spirit said, right? Ugh, what the fuck? Right, and these broke and demonic people, they see this, they know this, that you faithful to Spirit. You're not you're not gonna back down to anybody because you know who backs you. You know what backs you, right? So if somebody wanna if somebody want to lie to you, if somebody want to steal from you, if somebody want to cheat on you, if somebody want to slander your name, you're going to allow these people to do so in this season. Because remember, Spirit said you're not going to be combative. You're not going back and forth. So you're going to allow them. You don't even have to clear your name, right? Because what's done in the dark is going to come to the light because you're a divine infinite light being. So you expose the darkness, right? So all you have to do is sit back and be beautiful, be handsome, smell good, do your thing. That's all you gotta do is because Spirit backs you up, right? These bald-headed hoes always want to start shit, right? Always want to be in your business, right? These so-called best friends, right? Bald-headed hoes, right? It was only for you. Yeah, these people were only for a season. These people were only for a season. The season is over. You're moving into a new season. Mask off, right? They not who they used to be, right? They change, right? All of a sudden, you kicking it with your lover, and all of a sudden they don't have time for you no more. All of a sudden they coming around with this person, that person, but don't have time for you. But every time they coming around, somebody else in their car, but they just popping up like as a convenience, a pit stop at your place, right? No. Divine infinite light means we not pit stops, right? We not pit stops, right? So they had to understand the hard fucking way that you not a pit stop and you don't play them type of games, right? Point blank period. Need to communicate. This say need to communicate more. So they not communicating. We got that right. Afraid of your super, yeah, so they try not to be afraid because this is in reverse. You got supernatural gifts, and this says they're afraid, but they're trying not to be afraid, right? They trying to come up out of that fear, yeah, because they know they looking stupid in that hole, right? Your siblings, right? Your siblings, you got brothers and sisters, step brothers and step sisters that you know that are not your friends, that they don't like you, right? They don't like you, and they're toxic. They trespassed against you, right? They trespassed against you. They talk about you behind your back, you not even knowing, right? They don't like you. They just don't fucking like you. They don't want to even be your sibling, let alone be your friend, right? We got Cancer moon. We're in a full moon right now, right? We got a lot of fucking water signs. So that is them in that fucking cave crying. They're crying. We got divine masculine coming to get who he wants. So this is that new energy. That new energy, right? My nose is itching. That's that new energy, right? So if it could be divine masculine, divine feminine, but they coming to get who they want, and that is you, right? And you could be a Scorpio, you could be a water sign, you could be a air, fire sign, right? But yeah, the mask is off. The Cancer, somebody is a Cancer, and their mask fell off. They couldn't hold their mask no longer, right? That shit, it started to melt within their skin, right? You started to see the true demonic, broke ass demon for who it was, for what it was, whether it was a feminine energy or a masculine energy. That mask started to melt in their fucking face. It just didn't fall off. It melted in their face. Remember how the wax music, it was the wax museum, not the wax museum, the up to date one. Um yeah, it was a wax museum where at the end, when the motherfucker was set afire, so this motherfucker then set his own self afire, right? Because in that movie, then they the masked man, the man that was killing, making the people wax museum people, didn't he set the fire and set the shit on fire, or the girl, somebody set the shit on fire, right? But in this scenario right here, the the Walking Dead people that you have walked away from, that are laying, sitting, hiding in these caves, they set the fire, and when they set the fire, their motherfucking mask started to melt off, right? You started to see them for who they really was. Your kids are jealous. It's the toxic energy they hang with. So you, divine infinite light beings, feminine energy, masculine energy. You got kids that are jealous of you. And I don't understand why kids would be jealous of their parents this day and age. Like, um, there's no comparison. There's no, they're not in the same category. I would never be jealous of my mother, right? I would never be jealous of my mother, right? Me being a child of my mother, that we're just, we don't compare. We're not in the same category. We're not, there's no comparison. That is, that she is a higher statue of me. Like, why would I be jealous of her, right? But these kids these days, the society, the social media, friends, and um, um, influencers, you know, the shit that they see, right? It's more shit prevalent for our children to see, right? It's more energy for them to feel. It's more, and it's just, it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, and it's gonna ride out how it's gonna ride out. It's motherfucking kids jealous of their parents in this day and age, on this timeline, which is sickening. It's fucking sickening. You know, it shouldn't be, right? You should cherish your parents, right? There should be no jealousy coming from a child and their parent to their parent. But it is what it is. And it's a lot of it going around, right? You dealing with it today in your own in your own homes, right? Children jealous of you, right? For no reason, right? Don't have no reason, don't have no cause. It's just the energy. It's the energy of jealousy. It's a demonic energy, right? It's an entity that sits on them, right? And they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to be uncontrolled by it. They don't know how to get rid of it. They don't know how to rebuke it. They don't know how to, so yeah. Well, this is what we have to come up, do. It's principalities. It's flesh and blood. Flesh and blood, right? Like, okay. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah. So these people is planning. They want to plan to, come back to you. But, some of these people left home and they want to return back to home. Like, they hiding at their mama house, hiding at their brother house, They over their uncle house and shit. But they want to come home, right? Yeah. They want to rekindle what was lost, what was burnt up in the wax museum, right? When their mask fell off, right? They see that you see who they are for. They see that you see them for who they truly are, right? That's why they hide in that cave, right? That's why they scared. They scared. They trying to make the decision, right? They discovering some shit about themselves that they don't like, right? That's what they doing. They discovering some shit about themselves that they don't like, right? They knew they had too many fucking options and they put too many motherfucking illusions in your face. They put you in physical conflict that you didn't even have to be in. Fighting bitches and fighting niggas that you didn't even have to be in, right? Fighting best friends and fighting cousins and shit. Putting you in competition and shit, right? Because they recognize your worth. They recognize the star you are, right? Yeah. So everybody want to be jealous of you, right? Now they spying, right? Looking at you in your Ten of Cups, right? Yeah. Standing in your quiet power, right? They spying on you while you standing in your quiet power, right? With your Ten of Cups, right? And they want to come clean. They want to confess. This is what they want to do, but they have not got the bravery to do it. They haven't got the because they receive injustice. They can't. They can't. They're receiving justice, even though they want to come confess and tell you the truth and how they really feel, and they know they fucked up and they know they did you wrong and they shouldn't have been cheating on you and they shouldn't have had that bitch in your car and that nigga shouldn't have been at your mama house and all that shit, right? They shouldn't have been picking you up from your job and all that type of shit, right? Right. Right. Your cousin shouldn't have been lying to you about being with somebody that you didn't like and shit, right? All this shit, right? While they talking about you behind your back and shit, they want to confess, but they can't because they're receiving judgment. They're receiving judgment. Justice. I said judgment and it say justice, so they're receiving both. While you in your empress energy, your emperor energy, being who you are, waiting on your yin or your yang, right? That's this motherfucker right here, or daddy fucker, motherfucker or daddy fucker. Why they in they dark ass cave, being set the fuck down, being haunted, being they in their own mind fucking confused. They trying to search for answers and asking their own self questions. Why did I do this? Why did I have to go down that route? Why did I show up in this type of energy? Why couldn't I just love him the way he was supposed to be loved? Why couldn't I just love her the way she was supposed to be loved? Why couldn't I just be a good cousin? Why didn't I just be a good brother or sister? Why? Why? The same reason why you was asking why, now these motherfuckers is asking why. How about that? See how what goes around comes the fuck around? That you see how Spirit did that? In the beginning, you was asking why. Now these motherfuckers is asking why. Wow, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. That was beautiful. That okay. Thank you, Spirit. That okay. Thank you, Spirit. I like that. I like that. Mm, mm, mm. Message in the bottle. They want to send you a message in the bottle. They want to text you. You could have a 15-year-old child. You could be have a 6-year-old child. You could be born on the born on the 6th month of the year, right? But they want to send you a message in the motherfucking bottle. So that's June. That's Cancer again, right? A lot of Cancer, a lot of emotional, a lot of simplicity. They wanted to just go back to the way it used to be, right? They know they lost their treasure. Then Spirit said, "You were a treasure." They lost the treasure that Spirit gave them. They lost their yin or their yang, right? They lost their counterpart because they was a fake counterpart, right? Wow, they was fake. They knew they was fake. They knew they was wearing a mask. That mask was going to melt off eventually, right? And now they want it all back. They want it all back. They want it all back. They want to call you. They want to text you. They want to write you. You know, motherfuckers don't even write these days. I've been getting that a lot. They want to sit down and fucking write you a love letter. Damn. They want to write you an apology letter if this is a family member or a friend, right? A boss or a coworker. They want to write you an apology letter. They can't come face to face, so they want to write it out, right? They want to be at peace again. They not at peace. They being haunted. You know, they been overlooked. They been looked upon by your spiritual natural love war team and theirs, by the infinite energy and the dark energy. It's just they under judgment all the way around. All the way around. They under judgment. So we're gonna leave it there. Somebody could be 49. Somebody could have a 23-year-old. Somebody could be born on the 10th of the month, right? Somebody could be born on the 9th of the month, right? Something could have happened on the 2nd of this month, or going to happen on the 2nd of next month, right? But yeah, I'm getting Judy, Carlos, Teresa, Pablo, um, Sarah. Okay. Um, yeah, let's get some numbers. We got 4, 5. Change, change, change. It's all about change. It's all about change. We got 5 on this damn. Today is the 5th day, right? So happy birthday. Today is somebody's birthday. Happy birthday. Um, but yeah, 5. It's time for change, right? And it's time for these motherfuckers to change, right? It's time for them to stop being a fucking coward, come up out of that motherfucking cave, and own up to their own motherfucking accountability. Don't nobody want to take accountability for their own actions. They always want to blame you. So this is why you chose to call it out like it is, or even just walk away quietly, right? Either one. You've done both. You've called it out and you walked away quietly, right? Like say for instance, somebody always calling you because they just want something. You told them motherfucker, stop calling me when you want something. That's the only time you call me is when you want something. That's the only time I hear from you is when you want something. So you called that shit out. You calling it out. This is what's going on in this season. You calling it out for what it is. I know you cheating on me, so I'm done with you. You can have her. You don't. I'm not. I'm not gonna be in no type of competition with nobody. Right? I know my worth. I know my value. So go ahead and go your way, and I'll go my way. Right? You calling it out. Right? I know you lying on me at work, right? I know you going behind my back trying to backstab me, right? So I see what you're doing, right? So I'm gonna just quit this job and I'm gonna go to a new job, right? I'm gonna go get a better job. You can stay with these low vibrational ass motherfucking bald head hoes, right? That you calling it out. I know you my children. I know you my parents. I know y'all jealous. I see what y'all doing, but I'm gonna keep my distance. I still love y'all, but I'm gonna keep my distance. You calling it out. You're not taking. It's a new season. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. Ashe, Ashe. I'm sending out peace, loving, healing energy to you all. Divine infinite light beings in this present moment. If you think you're a light being, you probably are. You might be. You could be. Yeah. And if you're not, You know who you are. You're not toxic, low vibrational, walking dead, pretending like you don't know how to be woke energy. It's time to go relax your mind and let your conscience be free, right? Heal yourself from all that demonic ass energy. Ashe, ashe.